Greetings and love and kindness, family. I know you are doing simply wonderful today. This is Dr. Karen Khadijah Davis-Foulks. I'm the host of Heart to Heart Healthy Living with Dr. K every Tuesday, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, and 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the airwaves of Inner Light Radio, the healing frequency. Come join us on our friendship train. We are here to assist you as we assist ourselves with understanding our world, realigning our purpose, and being the change that we want to see in the world. Health starts with being happy, and those who are happy are much, much healthier. That's right. Come join us on our friendship train. Health is all about consciousness, and healing is a function of consciousness. Join us on Heart to Heart Health Living with Dr. K every Tuesday, 3 p.m. Pacific Time, 5 p.m. Central Time, and 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on Inner Light Radio, the healing frequency, Heart to Heart. Preaching a new way, and you know, doctors got to practice a new way. Alternative, Western medicine. But what's most important is the people got to act a new way, feel a new way. How you doing, family? Woo! You know how we do it. Take that deep breath. 11/22/2016. How you doing out there? So very thankful for all you that are tuned in or that will listen to the rebroadcast show if you get the opportunity to do that. Take that deep breath. You know what time it is. It's a Conscious Self Healthcare Hour. Where we sit back and we take those deep breaths because we know the formula. Oxygen plus pumps equal electricity equal power. How you doing, family? How in community? I'm Karen Khadijah Davis-Foulks. I am the one and only Conscious Self-Healthcare Educator. I help you understand what your body's symptoms are saying. This information will rejuvenate your thoughts to live a stress, and you better believe stress, and disease-free life. With Conscious Self-Healthcare moves, mental observation view is essential for your success. So how can I help you slay your healthcare fears? We know we talked about fears, how we see that. You're tuned into my real life radio show, Heart to Heart Healthy Living. I'm your host once again, and we do this every Tuesday. You know how we do it. So today, the post read for today's topics that I'm going to try to get in each and every last one of them. Shifting out of chronic disease care stress. Yes, indeedy. That's what we should be doing, leaving that disease thought process. We talk about burying disease thinking and care, just eradicating it from our thoughts, period. Again, we still talking about this month is labeled as National Diabetes Month. And as we talked about it last week, when you're feeling like you have that, it's about managing your life. How are you managing your life? The life that you created to fit into this world that you see, that you are creating as well. We talked about it also, meaning the sweetness of life. You let it leave your soul because you gave it to the external world. And how can you get it back? That's what we're talking about. And today I said that I'm going to share a little bit about what is hospice care and what is nursing homes for and what is home health care and how all these things relate to one another. And is it a real difference when it comes to your health care? What is hospice care? What is hospital care? And what is a skilled nursing home? All them damn titles and labels, do you hear that? Is there any difference in them? I'm going to share some definitions with you so you can sit back and think about it as you're thinking about your life, the loved one's life that you're taking care of. And we know there's a lot of people out there, saging baby boomers or aging baby boomers or seniors is reaching a higher age and they're setting back planning long-term care and what's going to happen with them. Instead of planning a divine life until they decide to leave planet Earth, they're sitting back making sure that they don't get into one of these type homes. Well, I say, how do you do that? You got to bury disease thinking. You got to bury disease care. So what is health care? We're talking about stepping up out of the dark ages of disease care. That disease care that's made to believe that it's health care, and we're choosing to look at it as health care, and some of us are not. And some of us are, even though we say we're conscious and we know what we're doing, that we're not going to allow that to happen to us. But it's a way that doesn't happen to us. Because I tell you what, also the question is, when do that system let a person die? And how would they choose to let that person die? Because if you decide to fall into that hospice care, that long-term care, that nursing home care, that care like that, boy, when you get into that state, and you think you have control and your family members have control, you have no control for real then. You can't tell them what to do once that happens. So we got to sit back and make some decisions because health is consciousness and healing is a function of consciousness. And so I'm going to share a little bit with you today, this Tuesday, November the 22nd, 2016, the unconventional caring for my mother, Shirley R. Hardy, that got me to where I am right now. This state right here that I am right now, and what I'm doing on my real life radio show and how it affected my life. And again, you know what I be talking about, how my life got flipped, turned upside down, inside out. Even though people don't want to act like it did, but it did. But I don't have to be concerned about what they think about my life because it's my life. And I'm the creator of my life. Remember that show, It's Your Life? It is your life that you are creating. So you know how we do it. We sit back and we take that deep, deep breath. As I understand, the day is actually International Breath Day. And I'm so glad that I'm a lymphologist because that is the beginning to the formula. Oxygen and how we create the oxygen in our body through our foods, source energy that's already within us, and that breath of life. That helps power that lymphatic system because no matter what we're doing, if we cannot purify this body, it will shut down on us. Every organ, every cell inside of it. So we have to make sure that the body is purified. And there's only one way to do that. We can call it detoxification. We can call it all those things. We can try to get rid of waste in our body through our eliminating organs, but there is a certain amount that stays in the body that must be purified. And the only system that can purify that is the lymphatic system. And those little teeny vessels trying to pull all that dirt matter up around out of the bloodstream. Sometimes it gets so backed up itself that it becomes sluggish. That's when you say you have low energy. You're feeling exhausted. You just can't get things moving right. You're moving, but you're not powered enough because that system cannot do its job. And that's why I say, regardless as to what studies I have taken, no matter what courses I have taken, and if people wanted me to believe because it was their particular modality that I was learning, that I had to believe in what they said about what was the controlling system in the body. Well, I'm telling you, there are more lymphatic vessels in the body than there are blood vessels. So for me, that's the controlling system in the body. Because if you can't purify that colon, if you can't purify your pancreas, if you can't purify no other organs, or you cannot purify that area where the cells receive the nutrients and oxygen, be ready for the body to shut down. Each area. And believe me, it can take a long time for the body to shut down. A long time for you to feel the pain of suffocating. Because that's what happens to those cells. They begin to suffocate. They begin to drown in their own environment. And it takes a long time to shut down and for your body to start feeling pain all over the body. So take that deep breath. Relax. This is Opportunity, Conscious Self-Healthcare Hour, for you to take a moment to do what? Relearn, rethink, rewrite, whatever part is necessary for you to create your own wellness plan. Because that's my journey. No matter what I do and no matter what services I offer, the service that I do offer everybody is an opportunity to come and experience some 21st century information that would allow you to bury disease thinking. That would allow you to stop focusing on a disease name. To shift that energy and call it just what it is, cellular malfunctions, because you, which is in charge of those cells, are creating an organized breakdown that's causing those cells to malfunction. And what are the things and tools that we use to help those cells increase their energy? Stop the cellular malfunctions. Give them life, because, we give it life and then it charge up and things get going and then all of a sudden it go backwards again because we shift our energy from our beliefs. But we know about beliefs. Believe you can, believe you can't. That's why they shift on you. But when you know and understand and work from consciousness, because life is a state of consciousness, and when you're able to adjust your states of consciousness, no matter what you see in front of you, then you know you're doing the best you can do for yourself. So sit back, take that deep breath, and we're going to get into some information that's going to help you determine how you're going to write your program and what you're thinking about in terms of that long-term care and what's going to happen to you as the body begins to show signs of, aging. And what is that supposed to be? Because we know now we got people in the 90s, 80s, and 70s that's function better than our 20-year-olds, our 30-year-olds, 19-year-olds. These millennial children, they're doing a lot. But one thing they haven't got a hold of really is their health care. They exercise, they work out, they got a good diet, they juicing, they doing all those things. But it's about consciousness, too, that rules how the body works. And if we don't have the real right state of consciousness, if we thinking that we're trying to prevent a disease from happening in our lives, then really we're focusing on a disease. We're giving it more thought than necessary because we know that the body is not meant to stay here forever. So what condition and how we want the body to choose to break down, that is our choice. That's what I'm here to share with you. It is a choice. When you feel like you have to make a choice, when you're choosing, or you can understand. And so that's why I talk about mental observation view being essential for your success. And so one of the ways I do that and through my workshops is, or this radio show, we are embarking on an adventure in health. If you take the information and insight presented through this radio show, through my workshops, through posts, or things I put out to heart, your life will never be the same. I guarantee you that you're going to look at your life and you're going to question things. And you have to make that decision from your own true understanding and not most things externally. Because when it comes from external avenues, that man-made mindset of human consciousness, you tend to keep flipping it and flipping back and forth every time you hear something. So you have to know. You will find yourself vastly more fulfilled inside and physically healthier when you work from the heart. So we will be learning, sharing about things you may likely have never heard. And while some of these things may inspire you, some may shock you. But most importantly, you will be presented with opportunities for radical difference life, as well as possible ways to positively affect the lives of many others. Because when you learn cellular ecology and you become a lymphatic cellular wellness specialist, because like I always say, there should be a lymphologist in every home, in every community, you will have an impact on other people's lives. They may see it as positive or negative. They may think that you are just too damn positive and understanding about what you know, and they may not be ready to hear it. Like in my case, most people are not ready to hear that it's your responsibility for how you are doing things. And so the information you will gain in this radio show or attending one of my workshops will change your outlook, help you adjust to a healthier way of thinking, and most of all, actually help you feel better, feel good, feel better, just functioning on wellness, just thinking about wellness and not trying to prevent or stop or cure a disease. You have authority over your body and mind. You have authority over your body and mind. Life is a state of consciousness. Always have to be aware. Put yourself in awareness state of the consciousness of what you're using in that particular moment. You are the master of your body and mind. You have domination over your body, and nothing and nobody else can take it from you unless you give them that power. So take back your power. Don't let them have your power. When you change the way you look at things, things begin to change. When you change the way you look at things, things begin to change. And so you hear me talking about, are you working from a man-made mindset of human consciousness? We need to step back. Mental observation view is essential for your success. So let me tell you how I really do that. To get from where you are to where you want to be, you need a map, right? We need to know the direction. We need to know where we're going and how we're going to map out how to get there. That map is an acronym, M.A.P. That map is a tool that is used as a starting point for plotting a course in the direction of correction. Whatever it is that you're giving your power to, whatever it is that making you think that more information, something external is going to help you figure out what it is that you need to help you make that correction, because that's a part of doing. It's definitely not a part of being. Because when you be, you know. When you're doing, you're believing. So you want to be in the knowing. But before you can go anywhere, you have to know where you are. So do you know where you are? Do you really, really know where you are? Do you really know what you're understanding, what you're processing about your life, the world you see? How much power are you giving it to? Are you struggling? Are you finding yourself talking negatively, and you may not think it's a negative talk? You may think that it's slick, smart talk, but it's really a negative talk. You upset about something, you mad about something, you don't like the way something turned out. What kind of language are you using? You have to pay attention to your language. That's a part of creation. So when I talk about mental observation view, I'm talking about that map, that acronym for mental adjustment period. That's what it stands for. Take a nap, like we used to tell the kids, go take a nap, calm down, chill out, take a nap. The body can settle down. They go to sleep, and in that sleep state, they get relaxed, and they wake up more happy, more rejuvenated. Well, as an adult, we need to take a nap. Keep that map in mind as we're moving out through our daily lives and what we're doing throughout the day and where we decided to give our power to. Somebody going to throw something at you that's going to throw you off, and you're going to start reacting instead of thinking about it. Taking a moment to say, wait a minute. Let me pull out my map. Mental adjustment period before I respond to what is going on. This is the time that you take to ask yourself the necessary questions to achieve your goals mentally, physically, nutritionally, emotionally, spiritually. What are your beliefs, viewpoints, attitudes, perception on healthcare, the life that you're creating? What governs your lifestyle choices? What is it? What patterns you're holding on to? What they're showing you today? What you're holding on to that you don't know, as they say, in your subconscious mind? But everybody knows what's going on. They know exactly what they're doing. When will it be the material world? Will you make those choices from the material world understanding or the invisible world? Which way will it be? So what I try to do is give you enough information to consider as you take that map time. So then you keep that in mind. Mental observation view is all about a map. Mental adjustment period. How am I going to let this information affect me? How am I going to let this situation affect me? How am I going to let that person affect me? What are they going to do? What is that going to do for me? Take a moment, take a deep breath, breathe, and relax. That's what I do. They get mad when I take that moment, when I take that mental adjustment period and just don't respond. Then I come back with a righteous answer. And they're like, damn, she didn't fall for that. She didn't do that. She didn't respond that way. Her patterns in life showed me that she was going to respond a certain way. And damn, she didn't do it this time. What's that about? Because people sit back and look, and they see a how they can pick with you and pluck with you because you show them patterns. And they say you're not going to adjust. There's some people that go to work the same way every day and bitch while they going to work, knowing what it's going to be like. They don't even try to go a different route. They just sit there and go that route and let that happen to them. Faith is taking the first step even when you don't see the whole staircase. That's living according to the way you see things. It may seem like it's not going to work out because it's not a part of the norm. It's not a part of the daily thinking like everybody else is. But Martin Luther King, that's one thing he said. Faith is taking the first step even when you don't see the whole staircase. Because like I said before, what you see in your imagination is what you truly are creating in your life. That's what's really going on. So acute and chronic health care, cellular malfunctions, acute and chronic health conditions are simply an attempt on the part of the body to communicate that something is wrong, something is not right. You are not properly taking care of me. You're not doing the right things. Maybe the information that you have is not really working, but you're still using that same set of information to come from that same pool of thought. And it's just not working. You wrapping it another way. You unwrapping it this way, but it's still not working for you because it's in the same kind of pool of thought. They are usually the results of an imbalance or a deficiency that can easily be detected if you know where to look. And where do I say look? Consciousness. The higher state of consciousness. Millions of men and women are just like you, just like me, are frustrated with going from doctor to doctor, therapist to therapist, holistic practitioner to holistic practitioner without getting the answer that they need to eliminate the chronic or condition pain of health issues that they are experiencing. You know, we'll bring in all modalities. We'll bring in every kind of doctor. We'll call it what do they call it? Integration. Healthcare, you working with this person and that person, all that, but who you leaving out? Your own self. Your own really state of conscious, what you really feel. I guarantee you 100%, everybody know when they're out of balance and when they're choosing to do something that is not right, because everybody get that innate feeling. But then you talk yourself out of that feeling and say, I better follow this person because I'm going to hurt this person's feeling if I don't follow and do it this way. And what you're doing, you're bringing more stress in your life. So you got to put what your needs in front of all those other needs. And it may seem like it's a selfish act from some people. And you can think it's that way, or you can know that it's not. So knowing where to look is the key to regaining or maintaining your health. Knowing where to look. And I always say, look within. Tune into yourself. Thank you for tuning into my real life radio show. Because again, my goal is to help you tune into yourself, to look at what you're creating in your world and who's trying to bring you another picture and who's trying to interfere with that and tell you that you are doing it. Take a deep breath. It's a lot of information. Sharing with you this half an hour. So, are you ready for your miracle? Are you ready for your miracle now? I'm ready for my miracle. I keep moving forward. I keep raising higher in consciousness. I keep moving myself to a higher state. And somebody, some system, some people that I know and people that I don't know, are trying to create a reality for me that they want me to fit into. They want me to scream and shout and argue and fuss and email and talk back to people and say, why you ain't doing this and why you ain't doing that. Hell, you are a damn adult with a consciousness and you know what you're doing. And if you know what you're doing is right by yourself, then it'll be right by me. If it ain't right by you and you're struggling with the decision that you made to bring about a challenge in somebody else's life, really, again, you're bringing about it for yourself. Because you only create for yourself, no matter what you think you're doing for somebody else, be it good, bad, or indifference. If they telling you that it's not bringing about the outcome that they want and you still doing it to them, then they can fall for it and argue with you. But Karen, Khadijah, Davis-Foulks will never do that to anybody. I will never give my power away like that. So I'm ready for my miracle all the time. I take that deep breath all the time. Today, 11/2, I've been talking about the release of the book that includes 100 authors that happened today, 11/22. That book was released. 100 voices, inspiring, awakening, empowerment, with 100 authors in it. That book was released today, and I asked people that was a part of my network, my LinkedIn, my Facebook, my tweets, my posts, anywhere I put anything out. But did anybody respond in 2 months? Hell, they ain't been responding in damn 4 years. But nevertheless, I still put it out. Nobody really tagged on and say that, yeah, we'll support you, Karen. We want to hear your story, what you put in there, what you're talking about. I didn't get any of that. Nobody said anything. So the day the book was released, and guess what, family and community? 100 authors became actually published authors today because that was the release of the book. So once the book released on Amazon, we automatically became authors of that book. Now guess what happened? 99 people network marketed, got people to purchase that book for $1 today. $1 today. And guess what? It not only became a bestseller, it didn't only just become a #1 bestseller, it became an international bestseller in 3 countries. As far as I know, it might be some more since I last checked and looked at it. And the reason why I said 99 people made that happen, because this one person right here, Karen Khadijah Davis-Foulks, cannot say that one person in her network bought that book for $1. Not one person, because no person called to say anything about her story in that book to her. So she don't know if anybody was a part of it. But can I be upset about that? Hell no. I can't be upset about that. I can't be angry about that. I can't be mad about that, because guess what? That $1, Karen Davis-Foulks didn't even have $1 to help that book reach international bestseller. So I'm an international best-selling author, and all I did was put in a story that I don't even know how I read, because Carla has a unique way of working with people, at least this particular author right here. When I submitted my story, and everybody know how I am about writing, she is a writer. She is a best-selling author. She has supported over 850 women, and now I can make that 950 women, because of the 100 people that was in this book, even though it was men, women, and children. She helped them. I didn't get an article or my book back or my chapter back saying, this is how I edited it. Do you approve of it? None of that happened. I didn't see the markup. And because she simply said what? Have faith in the process. Trust the process of what I do. And so I trust the process of what she did. I don't know how the story reads. Anybody want to call me and tell me they can put out $1 and go out there to Kindle and Amazon and buy that book? 100 Voices, Inspiration, Awakening, and Empowerment, and tell me what my story was all about? How did it read? I would appreciate it, because I didn't even have $1 to do that. Why? Because this journey that I've been on has been all about not allowing Karen to make an income. Not allowing Karen to make any money because of the way she think and the way she practice. So we're going to put all kinds of roadblocks in her way. And so I made a choice. I have bills that I have not paid this month. And that $1, I could have put the dollar in my gas tank. I refuse to do that. I could have used that $1 to go to buy food on my table, but I refuse to do that because I have bills. I have things and obligations that I have to meet. Some people I only pay half this month and haven't finished paying those bills for this month. See, one thing my mother taught her family was to pay your bills and pay them on time. So I've never been in debt. I've never had any of that going on until I got into this field of healthcare the way I do it now. My sister left with no debt. My brother left with no debt, and my mother left with no debt. She put her house in reverse mortgage, and the first thing I did was sell it to pay off the reverse mortgage. I didn't care if I made a dime out of it. My mother never lived in debt, and she wasn't going to die in debt. And right now, the first thing before I do anything is to close out her estate. I don't know how much that's going to cost me. The accountant wants his money. I haven't closed her estate yet. It's been 2 years. Next year, it has to be closed. Maybe a doorway will open up where Karen can start making real money, and people can stop sending fake people to me like they're interested in what I'm really doing because somebody paying them to come to me. But you know what? I keep moving, and I keep moving forward, because you're not going to adjust my thinking. You're not going to get me upset. You're not going to make me reach out and lash out and say things, because you don't control my life and how I'm living. Whoever it is doing whatever they're doing, and the people that's involved in it, because believe me, it takes human bodies to do what they did. And those people are doing it and have done it. So take a deep breath. That's what I did today. That book is an international bestseller. I'm an international bestselling author, and I didn't put out a damn dime to help it. Did that bring some sadness to my mind, to my heart? Yeah, it does, because I had to make a decision. $1 decision. $1 decision. That dollar could go towards helping to pay off my debt or putting that book out. I'll get to see that book.
I'll get to see it before it's all over with, before it becomes into paperback. I'll find out what my story and how my story reads in it. But again, like I said, anybody that haven't purchased it, I think it's terrific stories in that book. I worked with those people in the group for a while. I've read their posts. I heard them talk. I seen the information column put out. And I'm excited to read that book when the opportunity presents itself for me to do that. So take a deep breath and relax, because I'm telling you, no matter what it looks like, if it ain't what you really creating, you know it ain't what you're really doing. It's somebody else trying to do something to you. The same way they did with my mother and what I'm going through. Because again, my story is about the greatest hoax ever played on a living soul. How I moved through it in love and kindness. How I took and made decisions for my mother when she couldn't make it, that the medical system didn't like. So was they strong enough to stand up against me and talk to this little old black child right here? No, they did some maneuvering things, you know, with my family, with my colleagues, with my friends, with my lover, with everybody. And they think that it's supposed to help me, make me get somewhere. No, people don't make you. You make yourself. So whatever illusion they told y'all is your illusion, because you see how I'm living my life. You see what's going on. And I'm not going to call it struggling. And I'm not going to start a fight. And I'm not going to call it anything, because it is what it is. And people would do those things to you, because I'm here to tell you one thing for sure and two things for certain. That life is beautiful and wonderful, because that's how I'm creating it. So life is beautiful and wonderful. It is never, ever mean, cruel, or unkind. It is always loving and good. We love with a free heart and an open heart and a loving heart. We let the universe lead our lives because we are one with each other. You see, never give your power to people, places, or things. You are in control of your life. You live by his words, his actions, and keep a loving mind. And I say, do not criticize yourself. Say loving words of inspiration to yourself. Change your habitual actions, because I'm here to tell you, people, life is beautiful and wonderful. What you give life, it will give it right back to you. The same way that you gave it, it will give it right back to you. The power of life is in the power of the mind. You want to think righteous thoughts, and righteous things will happen. Life is beautiful and wonderful. Whatever, and I'm here to tell you, whatever you experience in your life is really but the outpitching of your own thoughts and beliefs. No one else can keep you out of your kingdom, but no one else can put you in it either. The story of your life is really the story of the relationship between yourself and the universe. They call it God. Change your thoughts and you change your life. Put your new thoughts into action now, because I'm here to tell you that life is beautiful and wonderful. It is beautiful and wonderful. So let this spiritual life into this human world's life. The world you live in is make-believe. The world you see with the conscious eye, the third eye, is captured by the Creator's eye. And I'm telling you that this world is beautiful and wonderful. And your life and my life is beautiful and wonderful. Because you see, the soil of the earth needs nothing for it to grow something. Life, it just needs to be. It distinctly knows what to do. And I tell you, so do you. So plant the seed of positive thoughts, think solution thoughts, and your life will unfold as the universe has planned. Because family and community, I'm telling you, regardless as to what happened, regardless of what they want me to think it looks like, I'm here to tell you that my life is beautiful and wonderful. And you know what? It is never, ever mean, cruel, or unkind. It is always loving and good. That's one of the poems is in my book that I'm getting ready to release again, Tune Into Yourself Through the Magic of Poetry. And actually, that poem came to me when my sister sent me that letter telling me that she had only a year to live. And I just broke down and I asked the universe, how can you take somebody? And when I woke up, it told me that life is never, ever mean, cruel, or unkind. But damn it, they can be mean, cruel, and unkind and call it loving and call it caring and calling it they're doing the right thing by you. But if they see that it's not, you're not really looking like it's the right thing, and they still doing it, then they're creating for yourself. Because I'm telling you, you can't create for me. You can't make me feel a certain way or act a certain way, because I'm going to always rise in consciousness. I don't live in hate. I don't live in anger, and I'm not going to ever start that way. And so what it looked like today, it looked like Nobody read the chapter. Nobody brought the book. I couldn't help assist, but there's always other ways. And I always put out divine energy. So I know I help through the energetic understanding of what money really is, that energetic flow, that I helped that book reach international. And I didn't use the currency of paper dollars. So take a deep breath and relax. We're going to take a station break. And I'll be right back to share with you what all those things are, hospice and other kinds of care, and see if you want to plan for those things in the future.
Do you feel lost? Do you feel out of sync? Could it be that you are experiencing electromagnetic sensitivity? Yes, electromagnetic sensitivity. Could man-made frequencies interfere with cellular activity and melatonin production? We are beings of frequency, light, and information, and you are your own experience. Do not conform any longer to the patterns of man-made mindset of human consciousness. Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. Schedule your Nest Provision Human Body Field Scan with Dr. K. 202-248-7749. Visit the website forcelllife.com. The number 4CELLLIFE.com. Have the courage to expand your horizon and reprogram your cellular activities. Call Dr. K for your 15-minute wellness consultation. 202-248-7749.
We can make it on our own. We need love and unity that will make a better community. Oh, let's help one another. All of my sisters and my brothers. Come on, let's help one another. All of my sisters and my brothers. Let's show love and respect. Always remember never to forget that together we stand and divided we fall. All for one and one for all.
So yes, gotta help one another. That's what it's all about. That's why I'm the founder of the Art of Self-Healing and Self-Help. Health education for longevity and peace. I live by what I teach and what I share and what I experience in life. I live by it. I take those deep breaths and I honor who I am, and I honor what I do in life and where I have come in life. I've taken that information, I incorporated in who I am, and that's what I live from. And so I love what I do as a conscious self-healthcare educator. I love being a little bit different from everybody else and how they do things, because we all are our own unique experience. We all are that. And so, yes, a lot of things shifted. And I should have known damn better. I should have known that something was up when it was going down. I had the feeling, I had the inclination, but I did not believe that they would go that far to do what they did. That's a little bit about what I share in my story when I told the doctors to take that damn device out of my mother and why you didn't let her go ahead and die when she was dying. Nobody asked you to save her life. You'd already been trying to save her life. You saved her life so much that you took organs out of her body. You saved her life so much that her damn esophagus was burning out of her body, that she could not even eat anymore. And she still was able to eat. You did everything you did to call yourself maintaining life, and her body still shut down. Those legs became like those lead boots that blood could not raise back up. And when that time came, you chose not to let her go. You sit there and you ask my mother all those questions in the emergency room that night. Asked her, did she have this paper done? Did she have that paper done? I was her daughter there. You didn't believe I was her only living child that could make decisions. You heard her, what she said she wanted to do. I walked back in the hospital the next day. You did that, and you damn right I said take it out of her. So what? I was crazy because I said that, but you were supposed to honor. You were supposed to honor the wishes of the loved one, do what they said, do not what you wanted to do. But that's how stupid I was. I thought that y'all was paying me some damn attention, but you was setting me up with my family to make it look like I didn't care for my mother. And how did it get that way? Because it's the same thing they did with my husband. When my husband got into that state after my son went through what he went through with oxygen and they let him come home and die within 2 damn hours, my husband said, don't ever let them put me on oxygen. And when I told you no, you woke him up and told him I tried to kill him. So how could I stay with a man that thought I tried to kill him because that's what you made him believe? So I divorced my husband. I left him because of a medical system that told him that I tried to kill him. His family, the community thought that I didn't love my husband enough to take care of him. I'm a person that cannot be around sickness. I cannot support anybody like that. So I could leave him, but I couldn't leave my mother, her only child. I had to keep myself in that system. I left my business, I left my home, and I moved in with my mother when I made those decisions. But did I follow their rules? No, I didn't follow their rules, because what you do, you took her out of that dementia state, you woke her up, and you told her that her daughter tried to kill her, wouldn't let her go into hospice. No, I wouldn't let her go over there, because I said, if you're going to put her over there, don't put her on no more damn medication, because she's been on medication for over 70 years and they ain't did shit for her. And I meant what I said. And you can call it wrong, you can call it crazy, you can call it anything you want, but that's what you teach us. That's what you told us. And then you said that you have a right to make a decision, that we have an ethical right to follow you. But did they do that? No, they created this environment that I'm in right now. But I tell you what, I'm still moving through with it in love and kindness. And I might have cussed a little bit just now, because sometimes you got to do that with that breath. You got to let some things out so it won't set inside of you. So no, I'm not emotionalist. I'm not emotional. Okay? I have emotions, but I don't let them rule me. And how do I know that? Because my stomach did not get into that ulceratic state. My kidneys did not bother me anymore. That it brought that pain in my life because of emotional decision. When I wrote that poem, Life is Beautiful and Wonderful, the universe told me at the same time that it wasn't just about my sister. It was going to help me through what I was going to go through, because some people was going to make things look like you doing something that's not normal. Well, I'm telling you what, it's not normal to put your people into hospice, nursing homes, and still treat them with medication that didn't help them. That's not normal anymore. And so, no, I'm not ashamed of what I did, and I'm not casting no blames on anybody else for what they were told to believe and how they're acting right now. It is what it is, okay? And I'm going to keep moving forward. Like I said, I'll pay my bills right now. Where I live at right now, somebody's paying my bills, and they only pay what my bills are. And because you keep bringing me people that's not for real in my life, like they wanted my help and my support, I'm turning all that away now. Because if you're not coming in to me, work with me on your own for real, I ain't working with you. So I'd rather shut it down. And I mean shut it down. So that means if I don't have an income, I can't pay my bills, this person will make a choice not to continue to support me, and which they already have. I'll take what's happening. I'll become homeless. I'll go into a shelter. I'll do whatever I have to do, because I ain't kissing nobody to do whatever the way you want me to do it. Whatever you bring in my life. You can keep tracking my email. You can keep doing my Facebook pages. You can tap my phones and keep doing whatever you're doing. I do not care what you are doing. And you can have people come tell me that it's all for your benefit. It's going to all work out. Don't worry about what's going on, because Karen is not worried about it, because Karen is not creating that. Karen is creating love and harmony and peace. Karen is creating a way for people to make decisions on their own, and trust the fact that that medical system will try to stab you in the back each and every time. Pit you against your family. Definitely when you don't have a large family. My mother only had 2 grandchildren and a niece and a nephew. And they all 4 of them got caught up in this and think what they're doing by me is right. Well, if they think that they're doing about me is what's right, then it's right. And anybody else that they bring into the picture to do what they're doing and not be upfront with me, that's your choice too. Because remember, you are creating for yourself. You're not creating for me. Because I'm not going to get caught up in that. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to fight with you. I am creating my life. And if you keep putting roadblocks in it, you keep tapping my phone, doing my mail, you keep telling people whatever you're doing for me because of whatever, because of what I did. You know, my mother was in hospice. She was in hospice in her own damn house. I just didn't have her in hospice in your system where you had to tell me and make me give my mother medication. I don't give myself drugs. My mother knew I would never give her a drug. I would never shoot her up with insulin. She knew that, and she honored that. And she wanted to be let go, and you decided not to because you didn't like who I was. You didn't want to sit down and talk to me because you know you couldn't tell me that stuff that you tell people, and I was going to believe in it. Because I don't believe in diseases and I don't believe in drugs. And I'm not ever going to believe in diseases and believe in drugs, that therapy works. No matter what you keep doing, I am not. So if I become homeless and live on the street, I'll be a happy homeless ass person. Understand that. That's for real. This is my real life radio show, and I'm for real. I am telling you the truth. And that is that. Okay, people? So keep doing what you're doing. I'm so happy for the authors that became best-selling authors because I'm telling you, mine was done through energy, the power of support of the universe. That's how it was done. So, got a message that came up, but I want to get this real quick in about hospice for that time creep up on me. Jamal might give me an extra 5 minutes today, but let me get this in and I'll read this message that just came up on the screen. We are not the same, each a unique signature. Quantum health and healing, a new way of self-care. Healthcare is not a one-size-fit-all system, people. It's not just about homostasis. It's all about allostasis too. The body is adaptable. People, the body know what to do no matter what you do to it. It's going to try to bring about a balance to equal change in health. It may not feel like it and you will interrupt it, put a drug in it, do something to it and throw it back off again. The body is not about just keeping things balanced. It's allowing it to adapt itself. That's what blood pressure is. It's trying to adapt to your thinking, to your activities. You know, high blood pressure, you know, numbers that you're supposed to fit into. Every single person supposed to fit into those same damn numbers. You are an individual person, and you are vibrating at your own frequency. You are as unique as your signature of manifestation. No one vibrates like you. See the invisible made visible. That's why I love the Nest Health tools. Because if you got to use a tool, but your body is the best tool, because I do a lot of stuff without the tools that I use. I trust the vibration within my body, the oneness with the universe. So I bring about that balance on my own self. How? A state of consciousness. I'll rise above, and I'll keep rising above what you put into my life, and I'll keep rising above it. And so maybe you'll get tired of what you're doing and that you having everybody else to do in my life, trying to get me to fall into play because I didn't do what you wanted me to do. Family, I told y'all my mother was in hospice in her home. And if they wanted to put her in any other facility, they could not give her any more drugs. You had already been managing her with drugs. And you wasn't going to call it hospice care where you're supposed to die within 6 months when hospice used to be that you was dead within 3 days, no more than 7 days. Now they're talking about 6 months and people can still talk and they're in hospice because what? They now labeled your disease that you've been managed as what? Chronic. Not only that, there's a terminal illness because they use that word terminal because the doctor wrote terminal beside it. Well, hell, they get more damn money when they write terminal beside your damn name. They get paid even more to put you over in those places. And so, no, I wasn't going to do it, and I don't feel bad about it. The family, you were just in your state of consciousness where you were, and you were believing what they were telling you. You couldn't believe that what Karen said was right. But what happened? It's 2 years later. They did everything they could do in my hospital for me to argue with them doctors, for me to tell them that what they was doing wrong. Like I thought I was better than the doctor. I'm not better than you. You practice disease care. I practice wellness. I live wellness. I don't vibrate to what you wanted. So whether they call it hospice, long-term care, whatever, it's too long. When a person gets septic and their body becomes the way it is, the heart can't pump that blood around no more, can't purify itself, and no dialysis machine is going to do that either. My husband died on dialysis. He had to beg me, and I wasn't even still married to him. How can I die? How can I stop this? Alvin, you got to tell him to stop dialysis. And when they did it, he was dead within 24 hours. He was dead within 4 hours. So we got to wake up. There's nothing wrong with what they're doing. It's for warfare. It's for catastrophic events. But for the daily care of your body, no. My sister was 47 years old when I decided to let them turn that oxygen off for real, that she wasn't going to carry around no more because she didn't want to be put in hospice. She didn't want nobody to call them caring for her when she knew the outcome still was going to be death 5 or 10 years later down the line, walking around with oxygen and then being bedridden and then being put on more oxygen. And you call that living. That is not living. Not in my book, not ever. So yes, I'm talking with a firmer voice today, and you can hear it come through my body because I'm sick of the shit that you're doing. I'm not changing who I am, and I'm not feeling bad about what I did. And I ain't even upset with what my family did and what's going on right now. I ain't mad about it because I'm going to keep doing it the way I want to do it. And if it means that I'll be homeless, then I'll be homeless because I'm not changing. And you can put all the roadblocks in front of me that you want. I don't see them. They don't move me. You do not move me. I move this body through my consciousness, my state of consciousness. And every time you throw me something, I'm going to move higher. And I'm going to keep moving higher. You see, I've been doing this shit for 16 years and you've been throwing shit in my face. And I'm going to keep on moving higher. I'm not going to change and I'm not going to stop. So those of you that are part of it, that you keep doing it and come telling me it's going to get better. Things are going to change. It's not really happening the way you really happened. What happened really didn't happen. I didn't say that to you. You didn't do that. That's not what's really going on. Are you all right, Karen? Karen is all right. Don't I look like I'm all right? Don't I act like I'm all right? But right now, like I said 2 shows ago, I'm sick of it and I'm tired of it. And so I'm going to leave it alone. And that's what I mean. I'm going to leave it alone. You're not going to ruin me. And you're not going to break me. And you're going to not get me mad. Okay, so take a deep breath with me. Tell me to slow down, Karen. Okay, I'll slow down. All right, so Maurice says, I think I'm going to have to leave explicit instructions as to how to proceed with my self-care in the event that I cannot make my own decisions in the moment. If those instructions are not followed or honored, there will be stipulations and consequences for not abiding by my wishes. Well, I'm going to tell you something. My mother left specific orders. She told her doctor. And what happened because I told them to pull that out, her doctor refused to even see me and talk to me again. You see, her doctor knew, her 15-year doctor that been taking care of her for 15 years. I met him. He knew I was a nutritionist. Oh, he was happy. Oh, Shirley, listen to your daughter. She's a nutritionist. And she's telling you right. Yeah, we all on top of nutrition now, so change your diet. But remember, that diet cannot help you with a disease because there's no cure for that. So Karen went back to that doctor and say, you know what, doctor? I'm not just a nutritionist. I'm a lymphologist. Okay. I understand the life and process of a cell. I want you to understand that. So there's nothing that you can come to me and tell me about my mother and think I'm going to believe what you say like she believes it because she's in that main mindset of framing. So my mother left specific orders. I'm her only living child. I had to follow it. Did my nieces follow it? Did my cousins follow it? Hell no. All of them are in the damn medical field. They follow that. That's their job. They have to believe in what they're doing. I'm not in that field. So you got to make sure that you leave more than instructions, brother. Okay? You got to find somebody that's going to honor your wishes. And if you didn't have what I had, because what they did was they created disillusion with my family. They told them that I wouldn't put her in hospice. I wouldn't let them treat her and that she won't give her drugs. No, my mother gave herself those drugs. I wasn't giving them to her. And when they wanted my mother to come in for surgery, I told my mother, you have just had a recovery from a major surgery. Your esophagus burned out on you. They put a bandage on it. You can't live no more than 5 years after that happened. So in 2011, when she went out again, you're damn right I told them not to do anything else. Because what? Her liver was gone, her pancreas was gone, her colon was gone, her gallbladder was gone, and then her esophagus is burning. And you think you can keep my mother here by putting a device here and put her in a damn home? Hell no. Kill me first because I ain't letting you do it. So that's what they tried to do. So, brother, you need more than just them words. You need somebody that's going to honor you like I did. But like I said, it took a lot out of me. And I'm thankful that there's nobody else, no more singers in my life that I have to go through that with. Because my nieces, if you want to put yourself in that system, I already told you. Your mother is here for my younger niece. My older niece, your father's here. I ain't got to be called on for nothing. I'm out of it. And I won't be in that system. So you need more than papers. Because my mother had papers. The hospital had papers. I had the power of attorney, and they ain't still none of that no mind. They created the environment that they want. Why? Because her preacher was involved in it, 2 of them. Her preachers was involved in it. The Elks Lodge was involved in it. Her nieces was involved in it because Karen is supposed to be uncaring and unloving. Well, I will never see my mother suffer. I watched her suffer for 50 damn years of her life. trying to get well on disease care. So no, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing, and you keep doing what you're doing. And anybody don't want to relearn, rethink, and rewrite, that's your business. But the information is here to share with you. So learn cellular ecology. Get that book, join that group, and don't just get it like everybody doing now, because I won't work with you unless you get the book. So people come and buying the book and ain't even reading it and think I'm going to work with them just because they brought the book. If you can't talk about it, if you can't show that you lived it, I'm not going to work with you. Work with yourself. Go to a practitioner that don't care. Or they work at their level. But I just work at my level. And that's all I can do. I'm not changing. So, yes, I got pissed a little bit today because I couldn't be about of a magnificent, wonderful, exciting day. So tomorrow, I will post in that group. I will honor the 99 people that made that book go international, because my story is in it. And it talks a little bit about what happened with my mother and where I'm at. But look at hospice care now. Look at long-term care now. Look at, like I said, these other care facilities, and read the definition of them and see what it says. They all say the same damn thing. What? When you move in hospice and now you got more collective care, you got assistant nurse, a doctor, you got the preacher, you got social work. You're supposed to have that shit in the hospital anyway. You're supposed to already have that. So what's the difference? And that's what I knew. I read that stuff. Even the UN. My mother was on opioids. Her body was clogged up. And what did they do? When I said no to them, when I put her, last time she went to the hospital, what did they do? They opened her up. They cleaned her out. And go tell my mother shitting on herself. No, you opened her up because she couldn't shit. You opened her up and you let her shit. And you let her feel that pain. And you made me look at it and you made me watch it. And you made me see it, thinking I was going to get mad and argue with you. But you just showed me how ignorant you was. You just showed me how righteous you think you are. That you don't have to listen to what a person wants. That's what you showed me. You showed me to be more determined to do what I do now. That's what you showed me. So no. Pay attention, people. Understand what's going on. And don't keep staying on these damn drugs, because they're not doing anything but breaking your body down. Shutting your cells down. Letting them drown and suffocate. And you thinking that I'm gonna do a little alternative stuff and that's gonna make a difference. No, them drugs is gonna stop. It's gonna shut down your lymphatic system. You can start shitting a little bit and you can feel a little bit better, but you eventually would do what? It'll shut down on you, and you see it all the time. We've been going through this shit for 240 damn years, and it's time for a change. And I've changed. And I'm just the way I am, and that's just that. So take a deep breath and look at the view this week. And seeing how you take care of yourself. And I'm going to give you some alternatives to this thing called diabetes that got majority of the world trapped because they can't manage their lives because they're trying to do it from the external. They're giving their power outward instead of going inward and trusting and loving themselves more. And taking that responsibility. Take it back. Hell, I got cellular malfunctions. I'm going through stuff. But I'm making that choice and I'm using it. I'm not going to use a drug to try to correct it. I'm not going to run to a doctor to try to correct it. I may go to you, get that piece of paper to help me, like to help me get that parking sticker where I ain't got to park so far away, or parallel park where my view is gone now because you sat there and made me look at you torture my mother. And I couldn't say nothing because watch, she's so arrogant. She's going to say something. And you thought I was so arrogant that I would attend a workshop that day that you put my mother in the hospital, that you try to sneak her off to hospice, but I stayed there the whole time. That's my mother. You think anything I do in this world, as far as a meeting, a lecture, a workshop, even with the best of them, even with Jim Oshman and all of them, where I was supposed to be that August the 14th, that was my mother. You think I'm going to leave her to go to a damn workshop to speak? So it didn't happen. They couldn't move her into hospice, so they had to sit there and create a whole nother plan because Karen wouldn't leave. I'm not that arrogant. I love my mother. I honor my mother. I did what she asked me to do, even though it broke my heart, to live with her and see her suffer. I had to do it for my sister. I had to do it for my husband. And that's why I would never marry again. I would never take control over nobody else's damn life again, because you'll change your mind when they wake you up and say, the girl tried to kill you, even though you said to me, if anything happened like this, don't let them do this to me. And then they wake you up and you say, oh shit, she really did it. So no, I would never marry again. I would never take over nobody else's life again, because they're too damn afraid. They live in fear. And we shouldn't be afraid to make our transition. We should be afraid of how we're choosing to do it. So take a deep breath and be thankful for these people that's showing us that's 80 and 70 and 90 that they have taken back control of their life, that they have changed. And they are acting, their bodies are performing better than their age. And our young people, right now, they're dying before their parents die because their body can't process this truly denatured food that's really breaking them down. And the first place to get flooded is the brain. And when that brain gets flooded, it messes with the nervous system, so they tell you got a mental damn disorder. Your mind ain't even physical. It's not even in your damn body. And people think they got mental disorders. So, signing out. Have a great week. And I'll see you next week. You have been tuned into my real life radio show. And today, it has been real.
This is a man's world. This is a man's world. But it will mean nothing, nothing, yeah, without a woman or a girl. You see, to take us over the road. Man made the train, oh, to carry the heavy load.